President General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida granted audience to Trust Television for a down-the-lane interview on his life, roles in the Nigeria polity, and his thoughts on current affairs and the political environment. Daily Trust on Sunday monitored the interview, and I am sure you have been asked so many questions over the last few interviews, but I am curious, why did you decide to go into the army? Why not any other thing? And he said, if you recall back in 1960s, there was a drive by the then northern Nigeria government to encourage young people from this part of the country to join the military because there were not many northerners at that time. So the northern Nigerian government then made it a policy to go round to recruit younger generation to join the Nigeria army. And I think it was very successful because they organized it properly. Ministers were going around the secondary school to talk to students about prospects of career in the military. I remembered I had General Yakubu Gowon and Tako Galadima, civilian minister and a professional soldier from northern Nigeria. We got carried away by what they told us, and a lot of us in my school then volunteered to join the Nigerian army. Initially, I wanted to be an engineer. I could have succeeded in that because I was very good in the subject, but I got carried away by this new prospect. That was how I joined the army. But looking back, do you think you have any regrets that you made this career choice, or you are happy with it? Yes, I think I was. It was of all made it first of all made me understand the country very well. It made me believe further about the unity of this country because we went and met other people from different parts of the country. We worked together and we used to have a joke that we have to work together. I had a teacher who used to tell us that, look, whether you like it or not, you have to work together. You are going to lead troops from various parts of the country, and when you go into combat, the ammunition doesn't differentiate between the north and the south. It doesn't differentiate between the Muslim and Christian because it is not written on your forehead, or it is not written on the ammunition. It just goes and kill you. So you must work together. You must cooperate because you are all fighting for common cause. So you were combatant during the civil war between 1967 and 1970, and I think you were wounded in war fronts. How did this happen, and how did this affect your career in the military? And he said it happened in 1969. We were moving to Umahia and we came under fire at a place called Uzokoli, and that was how I got sharpened that got into my chest on the right hand side. It almost affected my lung, or it did, and that is where the wound started. It looks like it was not removed, or it is something that you have refused to have removed from you. At that time, I had to make a decision. The doctor said they can remove it, but I could leave it. But when I became older, I may have problem with it, and I decided to allow it to remain comfortable in my lung until I become older. Is it a problem now that you are 80 years old? Not really a problem, but the process as you get older, you feel it. The fact that you are aware that there is something in you is traumatic enough. Well, I know you must be getting tired of the question about the annulment. You have explained it. Yes, but I still feel obliged to ask. The latest explanation I think you gave was to say if he had taken over, there would have been a bloody coup. And some people said, look, are you trying to protect your government because if it was a coup then, and you are still there, and maybe it is like you are trying to protect your government more than democracy itself. No, I wasn't there. Let me get that right. The story is properly put. You can put it this way. When we came up with the idea of an interim government, Nigeria said they were tired of anything, or the media phrase was that contraption called interim government. What we did, the interim government, we gave it life, we gave it tenure, we had a date for another election, but we were told, forget it, no election. Nigerians are weary of election, just pack and go. We managed to set it up. We gave it 6 months so that the February of 1999, I can't remember, 1990 something, he said I can't remember now, we would have had another election so that we can hand over to a democratically elected government. Now, one of the fears is that we couldn't come open and tell you people that this is what we fear or this is what we are going to do to somebody is going to do ABCD or so. The life of what of that interim government was cut short by coup d'etat, change of government. And the Abacha's government was very smart. They knew who were the most vociferous discussants about election, about coup, about June 12th, and so on. They started talking to them and sold a dummy to them. They encouraged them to get rid of the interim government. When we get rid of the interim government, we will bring you back to come and take over your democracy so that a civilian government would be installed. They sold that dummy to the public and to some prominent persons within the society. And when Abacha stepped in, they were drumming and sighs. Good thing. Next thing is going to be a democratically elected government. We knew that it wouldn't be, because the argument was, why should I risk my life only to come and hand over power to you? That was what happened. So did Abacha coup surprise you? No, it never did. I knew it will come, because even though I was outside the service, I knew what was going on. What was your relationship with Abacha like? He said, okay, but because people assume as if you kept him there so that he's on standby in case things didn't work out, he would step in. No, the idea was to give the interim government confidence that there is somebody, a military man who is well known, who can be accepted, who can provide strength in the interim government up to the time it hands over to a democratically elected government. And he was the only most senior one who had the name and had the experience to help in protecting that government. Can you help us lay to rest the persistent sort of impression did Abacha die a natural death? As a Muslim, yes, I will say that it is a natural death, because God said that every one of us will die. So if death comes, it shouldn't surprise me as a Muslim. He may have some underlying problems, health problem, and so on. But at the end of the day, he will die, because that is the way God willed it. Hmm. You can imagine these people. At the end of the day, because most of the time I'm always surprised. Anytime there's election, you will just see some people who do not know their left from their right because of stomach infrastructure. They will just go to that place to go and do what. At the end of the day, it's not as if maybe going to see Babangida in his whatever, whether it's palace you want to call it, whether it's going to have any positive effect to their election. Oh, somebody who want to come and go and contest, or you want to contest, they want to go to Babangida's place. This country, the more you look, the less you see. They've scattered this country. And a lot of people, even if you say you want to get some facts, or you want to come together and make this country to be what it ought to be, no wonder some people will tell you that it's a scam. We have people who are not even in government, just like he said that even during Abacha time that he knew what was going on in the government, for the fact that he was out of service. Honestly, some people don't go die better. Some people, as many that have put us in this mess. Do you know that we are, from my own observation, we are just moving. We are not even, we don't have direction. Some people are just using us to cruise. We don't have direction. They have scattered this country. They have scattered this country. If you don't know, they have scattered it. Where are they today now? Where is the country today? Curtain calling pot black. If you were not forced to step aside, would you have handed over? Don't mind him. Was he not the one who annulled the election of MKO Abiola, thereby giving room to this hula ballo we are experiencing in this country? We have shallow thinking mentality. That is why you killed Delegiwa, destroyed the country as a sharp criminal. The good thing about Nigerians, I happen to know them reasonably well. They assess you based on a wrong perception. Most of the time, if you say Babangida is a thief, the first thing Nigeria will do is to believe it, and it doesn't care whether you are going to explain or something. He believes what somebody else said. He doesn't even have facts. He will not accept even your own explanation. His reason is as if he's a thief. He says, yes, yesterday I saw him in a Mercedes, I saw him in a good car, therefore he's a thief. They have a shallow thinking all the time. Even you too, do you have a you somebody will just go and be telling you all manner of stories, cock and bull stories. They will tell you all the stories, and at the end of the day, the country has not moved forward. Have not The country has not moved an inch forward towards development, and we are here. That is why a lot of gullible people are just there. Tell them anything, they will just follow. That is it.